Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, welcome to another episode with Terri Cann, where tonight we are featuring the one, the only, the absolutely beautiful Miss Shenice Tou Johnson.
You look so beautiful.
Me?
Yes.
Have you seen yourself?
Not today.
Come on, girl, well, you look good, honey. I'm loving
Thank
this
you.
hair.
You like my hair? It's my natural hair.
I see. See, mine is put on. See, yours is.
I need something to put on. I need a wig.
That is gorgeous.
Thank
How
you.
are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm super excited about this year. Yes, I'm feeling awesome.
My God. You're excited about the year? I want to talk about that, but a little bit later on because we're going to talk about 2021. But thank you again. It's an honor to have you. Welcome to Music Mondays with Terri Cann, where we get up close and personal with your favorite artists and music industry professionals. Yes. Listen, and please don't be offended by this, right?
No.
I did not know you as an artist before last year. I was on a Clubhouse room that you run. Wow. And I was just like, Shenice, Instagram stalk. And I was just like, she's a whole situation.
Oh, girl, gas me up. Yeah.
A whole situation. And I just felt like you were so genuine when you were giving artists advice. I've been to a lot of Clubhouse rooms, sis, and
I'm not on there right now. I need to get back, but honey, I already know. Look, it's the unit for me, the mug.
So let's just say that you were one of the ones that I felt really had the artist interest at heart. Like for real, your
That's
panels.
My passion for sure.
Yeah, and I see that your panels were always very informative. The people that you brought on, I was just like, you're dope.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. And then I reached out to you and you were just so sweet. So I really appreciate that. But I want to jump into it. Those of you who are joining from Shenice's end, you're like, what's happening? This is Music Mondays with Terri Cann. I'm your host, Terri Cann. And let's talk about this name, Tou.
Okay.
Where did that come from? I love it. What is that about?
Well, my government name is Shenice Johnson. So Shenice isn't even my first name. Shenice is my middle name, my government middle name.
Okay.
But Tashana is my mother is Tweet and my dad's name is Sean. So some ghetto way, they put their names together and was like,
let's stay creative.
Let's be innovative. And they named me Tashana, and I've always hated my name. So I've always went by Shenice at job, school, whatever. But my grandfather, my family's from New York, but my grandparents are from the dirty South, like deep down Alabama type situation. He could never say Tashana, so he always say Tushana, which was, I don't know why. So my family started to call me Tou ever since I was a little girl. So it's been a nickname. People who are near and dear to me until I changed it to my actual stage name. Only those closest to me knew about Tou and called me Tou. So yeah, everybody thinks it's pronounced Tou or Tau or.
I was saying Tau.
Yeah, okay. I get it. Yeah, it's Tou. Just simply Tou.
I did a little YouTube searching before because I was like, I don't want to sound like, like, hey, Tau. You like, it's just Tou.
I don't know what the spelling of it came from. I don't remember. Okay. But I just remember as a little girl, my mom bought me like a dog tag, like in the early 2000s, dog tags were like popular in New York. Yeah. And I got a dog tag with Tou on it, and I just went with it. So
I love it. I love it. Now, I usually start by going back into your childhood and kind of letting the artist walk us through this musical journey. Mm-hmm. We all know that you are the lovely Tweet's daughter. Yes. But I don't want to assume what your childhood was like. I want you to tell me what was your childhood like being the Tweet's daughter.
Well, shameless plug. I have a book called Broken Pieces that came out in 2017, and I talk about my childhood like in depth. Like I've always said that I've adapted over time this personality disorder to where I never knew who I was up until maybe around 25. I started to get this understanding of who I was and what I was created to do. But my father is a bishop and my mom's an R&B singer. So I had both worlds pulling at me, the standards and the expectation of church folk, and then these big shoes to fill on this side of my mom. So my life was a little random. It was traumatic early. But you asked me about my mother. It was hard. I think I talked about this on her Becoming Tweet, or like her Behind the Music or something. Like me and my mom had a very strange relationship. It was kind of non-existent for a long time, to where I felt like the industry took my mom away from me. And sometimes her fans will come up to me and say, "Thank you for sharing your mom." And I'm looking at them like, it wasn't by choice. Right. Because you had great music and you were able to see her perform, but I was missing her at track meets and birthday parties and Christmases and stuff like that. So on one end, it was great because I never missed a meal. I always had anything that I wanted. But on a flip side, I would have traded all the material things just to have my mom there. But she's always been a provider, always been my biggest cheerleader. She gives me awesome advice pertaining to the industry. But my childhood was traumatic. I was bullied. I never was taken out of public school to go to private school or nothing like that. So I lived with my grandparents, a missionary, very strict, by the book, church going, Pentecostal, foot stomping, tongue talking, fire baptized, all of it. So I was in church all the time. I'm a pew baby. So that was my upbringing. Very humble, very religious, but and very strict. So I appreciate it because it's taught me a lot over the years. So that was my little trial. That's a little snippet.
So I guess we all have to go and get her book. Can you repeat the title of it?
It's called Broken Pieces. It's on Amazon. You can DM me if you want to, or my manager, and we'll get a copy to you. I'm spilling a little bit of tea in this book too, so you might want to get it.
Interesting. So you're a church baby.
I'm a pew baby.
A bishop's daughter.
An industry baby. A bishop at that. My dad's been a pastor since I was 2 years old. Yeah.
So at what point did you decide that you wanted to go the musical route? And I wanted to ask you about your childhood, not necessarily to get in your business, but I'm just trying to figure out, like, were you groomed for this music thing?
Yeah, for sure. My grandfather and grandmother, I grew up in a quartet environment. Like, my grandmother and my grandfather were both in groups, and they met on tour, like with their groups were on the same bill. So music is literally inside my DNA. And it was, so my mother, she signed to Devontae Swing, and she met Missy when I was about 3 or 4. So I was at the studios with Jodeci, with Aaliyah, with Timberland and Magoo and Missy from a little girl. So it's always been around me. But I think my mom sheltered me enough to try to explore other things. I was always on this journey of trying to please my parents because I felt rejected by them. Like, Daddy, you're in the church and you married the church and you're a bishop and you get to counsel all these other children and everybody else's family, but your daughter is here with her grandparents. Like, as a little girl, I couldn't make sense of everything that was going on around me. It was a lot for me to break that down. But music for me, it was kind of forced church in the beginning. I was in the choir, I did little solos when I started, like maybe around 6. But I fell in love with it and wanted to be an artist, I think around the age of 13 or 14. And Missy and my mom were in the studio, and her and Jasmine Sullivan wrote this song called Bus Stop for Me. And I did my mom's second album called The Two of Us. It's a duet with us on there. And that's when people were like, okay, you have a gift. I think you should take this more seriously and tweet. You need to start nurturing that. And that's when my mom took me really under her wing and started to, I guess, cultivate my gift and tell me what to do and how to move about the business. And it became training ground for sure. My mom is a stickler for artist development, vocal training, and getting up and making sure your live show is just as good as what you do in the studio and things of that nature. So I think 13 was when I was like, wait a minute, I think I got something to say.
Wow. And then you mentioned really struggling until about 25. I guess that was to secure your own identity. And we talk about, I'm a PK too. My late father was like a bishop. So for a long time, like, oh, Bishop Conn's daughter, Terri. Oh, you're Bishop Conn's Terri.
That's a fact.
Right? So was it the same thing for you? Just of like,
it went from one spectrum to another. When I was with my father, I was Bishop's oldest daughter. When I was with my mom, I'm a little tweet. But I think, and then in the church, it's like they put these expectations on you. And when I became a praise and worship leader, you got to dot every I and cross every T. And if it's not crossed the way they want you to cross it, it's like, it was a lot for me that I developed. Depression. I attempted suicide a few times. It was really hard on me over the course of those years, trying to figure out, well, who am I? Because obviously who I am by myself is not good enough for either of my parents and not good enough for those around them either. And I think relationships became very conditional, whether it would be with love, family, friends. I felt like everybody wanted something from me, or I just want to be your friend because you're sweet daughter, or I want to get connected with Missy, or I just want to I want a session with your daddy. I want to be cool with your dad. So trying to be 13 and 12 and 11, I just could not figure out who I was. I just didn't know. And when I turned 25, I think for me, I was just tired by then. I was just worn out. I'm tired of making mistakes, tired of rehearsing the same cycle, tired of being depressed, tired of just everything, tired of myself, honestly. So I started to seek like aggressive counseling. I was on tour with Ty Tribbett for a couple of years, and that helped me kind of navigate through, okay, my relationship with God is my own, and I can nurture that and be a Christian and still have fun and still live a fulfilled life. So even my relationship with God flourished on my own because it wasn't something forced. But yeah, it was like a revolving door of identity crisis for me. Seriously, I didn't know.
That's deep. That's deep. You know, and people might say, I think you mentioned this before. I mean, but you're a tweet's daughter, so your life is perfect. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just you had on like Louis Vuitton baby clothes, right? Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it was all of that. Like elementary school, Gucci book bags, all that, and then I became annoyed with it because it's like that stuff is conditional. I don't care about, because you don't know when I go home and take this Gucci off, I'm an emotional mess. I want to die. I want to kill myself. I don't even want to be here anymore. And I think it was a turning point even in my family to when I attempted suicide the first time, and I ended up in a mental institution. And I'm in Georgia in my freshman year in college. And it was like, okay, wait a minute. This isn't just some temper tantrum. This isn't her wanting attention. This is something that's very serious. And ever since then, I think my family definitely like tries to help me navigate through those things. And with counseling, I've been able to like, even if I feel myself going down that route, I have the tools to like dig myself out of it. But I always advocate for creatives because our art is something that heals, but it's the very thing that I think that the enemy fights, because it's something that is supposed to benefit the world. And you see a lot of creative deal with mental illness or deal with identity crisis and stuff like that. So for me, it was like, you can't be the only person that's dealing with this. So what would you say to the other person that's dealing with this? And I've just been very intentional with being an advocate for creatives that don't have a platform like myself. So
awesome. And we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I feel like you got something up your sleeve, an organization, a not-for-profit, a book, a movie, something.
Tap into your prophetic, sis.
Come on. I feel it. It has to be. I mean, that's the only reason why God allows us to go through some stuff.
I'm telling you.
Now, you grew up in the church. Your mom was an R&B singer. You grew up in the church. Your father was a bishop. Your grandparents were missionaries. At any time, did you struggle between, okay, I want to be a singer, but am I going to do R&B? Am I going to do gospel?
I did. I actually did. And it was multiple times. Like when I was leading worship, I was at Bishop Weeks and Juanita Bynum's church when they were married, Global Destinies. And I was one of the lead worship leaders there. And I just fell in love with just seeing people's lives change and just seeing how the anointing flows, and just being able to see it for myself and it become like a tangible experience for me. But then that became too much, because it's like I'm in church all day. People expect so much of me. And then I did my little secular thing when I got to college. I started hanging around some other celebrity kids. And then it was like, well, what are you doing? You can't sing the devil's music, blah, blah, blah. And then I got signed to RCA. And then I started singing with Ty. So it's been an ongoing type of thing. But I think this last time, maybe like in 2017 when I released Hit and Run, I realized that my gift isn't just for the four walls. And I wrote a song called These Walls, and I spoke about how frustrated I was with church. And not the kingdom, not the remnant, not Jesus, not Christianity, but the four walls. I felt like it was caving in on me, and I felt like my expression and even what I wanted to give to Christians wasn't good enough. So some of it was rooted in rejection, and I had to unpack that too. Like, are you going to secular because they don't like what you offering? And it was like, no, like I can still be a Christian and still heal outside of the four walls, and my reach is bigger than that. Jesus's reach was way beyond the four walls himself. So I think I had to search with inside of myself, have a real conversation with the Lord, myself, go in my closet, meditate on things, and understand that my gift wasn't just for the pews. It's for the world, you know, and everybody's not gifted. You have to know what you're gifted in and what you're called to. And I think that'll help, because a lot of people want to say they're called to the nations, but you haven't really mastered your community. That's another thing, but I think for me it was definitely like an intentional, like, Lord, what do you want from me? I don't want to be out your will. I don't want to do music that's rooted in rejection. I don't want to even put that on my supporters and my listeners, but I need you to tell me that this is okay. Once I got the yes from him, I was like, I don't care, it's over. And it's crazy because a lot of Christians still support me. I think you can do things in decency and in order and still say I'm a Christian and still say I love Jesus. I'm still here. But I'm not about to say his name in this song, but you know where my help come from, period. But yeah, because Christians will try it and they will have you going crazy, and that ain't even what's happening around here.
That's a whole nother live that I can go off on. And it's like, are you telling me? And I'm like, I'm really saved and sanctified, but I'm tired of us.
I'm tired, and you got it. And I have a lot of artist friends that are just frustrated, you know, with just the expectations that they require of artists. A lot of them aren't meeting themselves, right? So it's a lot of my close peers and my friends that I talk to daily. I think if I would say anything to gospel music consumers, and this is just a sidebar, have a little bit more grace. Everybody isn't going to present Jesus the same way. So have a little bit more grace, and be careful who you reject. Be careful whose music. If you don't like it, if you ain't vibing with it, don't listen to it. But it's a lot of frustrated people who have great gifts that are just literally limited by the people in the pews or the gatekeepers, I would say. But that's another conversation. I'm not a gospel artist no more, so.
And this is why. No.
If you want to know.
And I've heard, hey, Dion Kipping. Dion.
Oh, Dion, I love you, DK. Congratulations on everything. I love you.
Right?
That's one of my closest dogs. I talk to him weekly, daily. He's
amazing. It has 15 cards. I just asked him for one. I was like, bro, can I just get one of the cards? That's my dog. It's disheartening because I hear this so often from artists, even from gospel artists. And it's just like, of all people, we should be the ones extending grace. And we're just,
how dare you not?
And we don't realize that we're pushing the people away when we should be bringing them, we should be drawing them to Christ, right? But this is not a church service. Let me get back to this interview. I'm very passionate about that. I'm like,
listen, I'm very passionate about it because artistry and creatives are my heart, regardless of what you're seeing. And when I feel like, when I left gospel, it wasn't to shun away my friends who are still over there. And they are very frustrated, and it's so annoying because they want to do the work. They want to lead people to Christ, but it's like, when you put limits on their gifting and you put limits on something that you didn't even give them, you didn't give them that gift, you didn't give them that talent, you didn't give them that song. That song is for somebody, whether it's for somebody in Paris, you don't know. So I just get frustrated, I get passionate, I get irritated. So
I get it. And
shout out to all of them. I love y'all, especially the independent artists. Those are my babies.
Thank you. We love you.
Yes.
You know, and it's like we complain, we get mad when they go over to the other side, and they're happy and they're getting paid more. Let's not even go.
Period. Cann, I love you. She's so dope.
KG said that's why I chose the producer route. Produce whatever you want. I feel you, sis.
And that's the money. So, that's what a royalties.
Right.
I wish I could play. Hey, what are you doing? Get out of here. I'm busy.
Is that the baby?
That's the oldest.
Okay.
Don't come over here. He is. They are just.
Your sons are so gorgeous, especially that baby. It makes my ovaries jump.
Thank you.
Trying to convince my husband to have another baby. Whatever. You grew up. You grew up with some of music greats. Excuse me, some of the music greats, and I listened to your music, and you have such a unique style. What genre would you classify? Is it like pop, funk, like
I would say alternative pop R&B-ish, because you know, Hit and Run was definitely like an R&B type of record, and I think for me, I'm still learning. This is me being transparent. I'm still figuring out what my sound is, and I think for me, the best advice anybody was to give me was, just because you like a sound doesn't necessarily mean it's for you.
It's your
sound.
But
I'm such a rebel. I've always been, when I did gospel, before I got signed, I had a gospel rock band, and it was called The Rebels, Shenice and the Rebels, and we did a lot of, I was doing records with Rock Nation, Devon Murphy, God rest his soul, but William Murphy's brothers, they have a rock group, and that's how I got signed, from a YouTube video I did with my rock band. It was a gospel rock band. And I'm always exploring different sounds. I don't look like how I sing. So
I'm gonna YouTube this, The Rebels.
That was another thing that I had to deal with. Like, you don't sound like everybody. Like in church, I used to growl a lot and squall and do all the extra stuff, and I hated it. I hated doing that stuff. Like, I don't know. No shade to nobody to do it. It just wasn't for me. So I think
that's my testimony. Okay.
I think it's a testament to who I like to listen to. Donny Hathaway helped shape my craft.
Okay.
Sam Cooke, I listen to him a lot. Joe, Brandy, and Whitney Houston is my favorite female singer of all time. So for me, it was just trying to explore what I like, what fits my voice, and not really trying to make my music to cater to my peers, but to cater to the listeners. And once I started to figure that out, I started to be more at peace with what I want my sound to be. So this new stuff is kind of pop-ish, definitely top 100 type energy. You know, there's going to be little pieces of R&B. I'm sampling one of my mom's records on the album. So it's going to be some old to R&B type vibes, but I feel like that's being done so much and it sounds amazing. I want to do something different. So I'm aggressively trying to find my way and just wiggle in here for a little bit of room. That's it. I just need a little wiggle room. That's all.
And I think the beauty of what's happening now in the music industry is you don't have to be confined or defined or confined to this.
I'm trying to check this. Okay, there we go.
You good?
All right. I was moving my lighting. Okay.
You look amazing, darling. I think the beauty of what's happening now is you don't really have to be confined to this one thing. You know, people are like dropping singles now, and it's like, okay, this single is gonna be this, and then another few weeks I'm dropping this.
It's fair game, and I think I was in a clubhouse with my big bro Eric Dawkins, and he said this is the time for the creatives to just put whatever out, because everybody's on the even playing ground. Everybody is humble now. Everybody pretty much at home. Things are starting to open up a little bit here and there, but our business took a major hit. Our industry took a major hit that's going to take $1 billion of hits. Like, that's going to take a minute to bounce back from. This is not a nail salon. We're talking about billions of dollars of festivals, of touring, of just a lot. And right now, everybody's on the same level. So if you really want to put content out, and if you really want to invest in something, and it doesn't take much to go to Amazon, buy some stuff. I've been buying stuff all week, like little mics and stuff. Put your phone in front and just sing. Do whatever you can, because people are on their phones. So I think this is a beautiful time for us to really enjoy one another. I think my biggest frustration is our generation is so trend driven, to where and that's one thing I feel like we need to go back and take a little bit of notes from the past generation, especially the early 90s with the R&B. There were so many different artists with different sounds. It was like a melting pot. Now it's like if you don't sound a certain way, you're kind of looked at or shunned upon, or the gatekeepers kind of keep you out of certain things. And I just feel like our generation should be a little bit more well-versed and stop following trends, because what's popping right now won't be popping next year. We're going to be on something else. TikTok may not even be a factor. So I think just make good music. It doesn't matter if it's if it sounds like this artist. It doesn't matter if it's super R&B. Like, there's no limits. Like, just put out your music. Just create from a pure place, and your art will do the rest. Trust your art and trust what you create, and let the rest happen. So
I love that. You said and I'm writing every time I look down. Just create from a pure place, and your art will do the rest.
Yeah, because art is authentic. It will do what it's supposed to do. Like, I think about LMA. Like, Boo'd Up came out 3 years prior to it popping off. So a lot of us it's something like crazy like that, to where when it came out, nobody really was. And then it came, and then later on, people started biting on it, and she blew up. And I think Mustard was just saying it took a couple of years. It may not be 3, don't quote me. But it's something that I literally think about, and I think on these things all the time, to where there's no limits to your art. A song that you put out in 2015, go remaster it, put it out again. So what? We want these microwavable results in the business, and the ones before us didn't do that. They had to really put in the groundwork. Right now, I feel like we have cheat sheets and we're not even using it. My mom had to go to record stores and have people waiting in line to promote our album. She had 106 in Park. We had to do commercials. Right. We just have our phones. Right. We can literally have the luxury to just post something and have people, they don't have to buy a CD. They don't have to wait to a release date. And I don't think a lot of people are utilizing the tools that we have. So.
Wow.
Shut up, please.
Pleasure, peace. I feel some shade.
That's my dog.
And guys, I see you. Welcome to Music Mondays with Terri Cann, by the way. We're featuring the lovely Shenice Tou Johnson. I saw that some people were posting some questions earlier. We are going to get to your questions. Okay. If you can kindly just put it in the comment box. Yeah. Just so we have some decency and no odds. And I will get to your questions. So along that same vein, when we talk about the industry and gatekeepers, there's a lot of information that has been getting out there via Clubhouse. Do you see my disdain? Like, I love Clubhouse.
Your energy, it's high. They've been calling it the Cap House. I haven't been on there in like a month because I've been working, but it gets kind of crazy on there. What information? What have I missed?
When I asked the question, and this guy, instead of answering my question, he told me I wasn't doing enough as an independent artist. I was like, first of all, you don't even know who I am. And he just was like, yeah, and you need to, and what you need to. I was like, okay, all right, brother. I was very turned off. But, right. Pros and cons of the industry. From an independent artist, everybody wants to be signed to a label. Let's be real, because
that's it.
Would love that 100,000 advance because I'm working hard. I'm investing. Producers cost money. Yeah. But what would you say to the independent artists right now? Pros and cons of the industry. Is that what we're aiming for, or do we just kill our Spotify streams?
It's just so much. I think the first thing that really is frustrating is you really have to understand that before you commit to this journey, it's what you put in is what you're literally going to get out of it. And normally when you first are starting out, you're going to put more in, than you receive back. It's a lot of investing that's happening. Yeah. And I think, like I said earlier, our generation, we want quick fixes all the time. Like, you may not get the label deal, but you have to work what you have until your music is paying for itself. You got to put the investment in it. If you don't have the drive, if you don't have the passion, if you're just looking for attention, if you're just looking for likes, if you're just looking for clout, I don't think this is necessarily, you're not going to see longevity. And normally you're not going to see the real fruit of your labor because your motives are wrong. You have to start pure. Everything has to be pure because it may take years. And I think for me, we have social media. So a lot of people are going to post their wins. Nobody's going to show you their accounts in the negatives, or nobody's going to show you that they're sleeping on a friend's house. You just see that they're in LA. You just see that they singing with Kanye choir, but you don't know. Some of them may be behind on their bills. Some of them may be bunking it up. You don't know. I'm not saying nobody come attack me, but I'm just saying we see what people post. And normally people are going to post their wins. Of course. And then if somebody was to post their loss just to show it from this is what I went through, we're going to dog them out. Look at how we do the artists from the early 2000s. We clown them. Bobby Valentino is still that nigga to me. Like, and when you listen to his catalog, who are we to say he's whack because he ain't put out a song this year? So what? He's still an artist. And I just think we have to start to appreciate our music and appreciate the creatives that are creating, because it's already hard. It's tough. It's tough. I get anxiety before release days. That's why I didn't announce that Talk to Me was coming out. I didn't
definitely just saw a post out now on all digital platforms.
I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not, because my last single, I did the whole shebang. I didn't even really put much into, like, I'm putting a lot of money into the post stuff, like my video and things of that nature. But I was just so nervous to the point where my producer was frustrated with me because I didn't want to put no energy into content. Like, I'm not about to do that, because what if they don't like it? Or what if, and it's blowing my mind that people love the record. Like, I believed in it, but I'm just like, wait a minute. It's dope. I get anxiety. My last single release, I literally went to the hospital because I had an anxiety attack. I was so depressed. I was just so like, and I did the shebang. I put thousands of dollars into and I was like, I don't want to put that into the energy into it. But the universe, God, whatever, brought positive affirmations back to me. You guys love that song. So thank you. But advice that I would give an independent artist: pace yourself, know your artistry, like, become one with your art, trust your art, know who you are, because consumers, our peers, sometimes we won't really be honest with each other. We'll be like, yo, that's hot. And then, I have people around me that's like, nah, that's whack. But for the most part, when you're trying to create for people who are on your level, you need to create for people that's on the radio, people that's going to buy and consume your music. Yeah. And they know what's real and what's not. Like, they can feel fraudulent activity. So, even from an artist. So often. Yeah. You got to be authentic with who you are. You can't switch up. You can't just become one with yourself. And for me, it's about pre-investment, setting goals. Okay, am I going to put 2 singles out before this? Have real conversations with people you create with. You're going to get with one producer to do your EP. Have the business conversation before. Nothing in this industry is for free. I don't care what nobody says. Somebody got to do something. Okay. Whether they do the tracks for free, something, money gonna come from somewhere. Somewhere. Yeah, don't expect no handouts unless you're gonna do the barter system. Like, I'll write the records, or I'll write for you if you do. Like, know who you're working with. Have those hard conversations first, because you will literally think you about to put a single out, and the producer is like, "Okay, give me $3,000." I've been in those situations before, so. Educate yourself on the climate of what's going on. That's good. A lot of people just think it's easy, even though we have a lot of more education now. People aren't utilizing what's out there. So a study to show yourself approved. Isn't that the Bible? Study your craft daily. Prepare yourself. Always be in preparation. If you do get that call from that A&R, are you readily available to play your music? Is it mixed decent? Like, do you have emails? Like, everybody wants this opportunity, but when it comes, are you going to be ready? Like, if somebody tell you to sing a song on the spot, do you have a song in mind? Like, do you, you know what I mean? Like, can you sing whatever? Like, it was one time I had this audition. They asked me to sing the national anthem. It was random, but you got to be ready for stuff like that. You never know. So just be prepared, educate yourself, and know that sometimes in this business, you're literally going to be investing more than you're recouping. And get a job, work. I was working 3 jobs on tour with Ty, still working and making money to put into my independent artistry. Everything is coming from me. I don't have no handouts. It's mine from the mud. For sure.
I applaud you.
Thank you.
I applaud you. And it's so, in one of the clubhouse rooms you hosted, you mentioned that. And then shortly after, it was so interesting. I was having a conversation with another artist friend of mine, and he was talking about another artist's daughter who's also in industry, and he's like, well, she has it easy because her mama is the, and I was like, well, how can we assume that? You know, just because I've seen the artists he's talking about, I will not call any names. I've seen them in like a private listening party with their label looking nervous, like, I hope they like, and you know, her mama was someone of prominence. So what would you say to the people who just assume that, you know, daughters and sons of celebrities just have it easy?
They don't. I'm actually want to do a clubhouse with some of my celebrity kid friends.
Oh, I can't. I turn my nose.
I think that conversation needs to be had because you know, we see the growing up hip hops and we see. I love Zanique. She's one of my people I absolutely adore. That's T.I. and Tiny's daughter. We see a lot of the glamorized story, but even with that, even on their show, we see that there's a lot of conflict that happens with the parent and the kid, and it's a conversation because I feel like sometimes people assume that things are just being handed to us, and it's not at all. And it's not a glamorized situation. Most of the time, our parents don't even want us to pursue music. There's more of that than pushing us to do it. And then even when we do it, it's like, prove it before we put it. You know what I mean? Like, let me see that you serious, because I ain't getting no handouts. I had to, that's what the conversation has been over here. Like, nobody ain't gave me. So let me see you do it. And for me, it became this like intentional thing. Like, I got to show my mom I can do it without Tweet's daughter, without that name, without that stigma. So I got my label deal without her. I got the Thai situation without her. I got the Solange tour without her. And her and Solange are buddies. She didn't even know I was there. So I think for me, it was kind of like this pat on the back, this thing that I had to prove to myself and those people. But don't assume. Just have a real conversation with people, because when you talk to them, you will realize a lot of them are dealing with identity crisis. A lot of them are dealing with depression or whatever the case is. And a lot of things aren't handed to them at all. And it's honestly the complete opposite. Like, you have to work extremely harder to even not only impress your parents, but to prove the doubters wrong. You know? Have a little bit more grace. Now, some people, I guess it just depends on who your parent is. Like, I think, but you know, I have friends with parents that are A-listers. I have friends with their parents are just chilling. They from back in the day, or just chilling or whatever. But sometimes the conversation is still the same. I gotta work hard. I gotta grind. I gotta get out here and get it. But I'm sure Blue Ivy's not gonna have to. That's one that I just feel like.
You know, I don't. JC from Brooklyn. You understand? He may be like, look.
Oh yeah,
that's prove. You better prove it. We'll see. We'll see.
These new celebrity babies are different than my generation. They are
they changed, huh?
Out the womb, just in fashion shows, and I love it. Because I feel like that support, and if you see a talent and you see a gift, I'm nurturing those things. And especially my oldest son, he wants to produce. So I'm going to give him the tools to be able to nurture those talents. And I think that's something that our Black community should start doing more. Correct. Really stressing the arts. And if he wants to produce, let's put some software on your iPad. Let's get you a MacBook. Let's get you some drums and let me see it. You know, he sings all the time. He brings little ideas to me, little melodies that he's trying to. Yeah, so I'm nurturing that now to see what he does with it. So we'll see.
Aw, and how old is he?
Aiden he'll be 9 on Wednesday.
Oh, come on, Aiden, young star. I'm here for it.
Yeah. He got to eat his way over here. You want to say hello?
Hi.
Okay, now
Aiden.
move. You're supposed to be watching your brother.
Now, how are you balancing motherhood with every?
No, it's out of her mind.
I don't even know how I'm sitting here on this interview right now because moments before I logged in, Dallas, my youngest, he just had a fit. And I text my manager like, I need a minute. It's hard. It's so tough. I don't have help. I don't have a nanny running around. I'm going to probably have to get one, but it's tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough. And some days I just sit in the dark and I just cry because it's hard. That's a trigger for me because
I understand, sweetheart.
Yeah, I'm thugging it out. I'm going to school. I'm trying to better my life for them, but I'm very intentional about being here, like making sure that the industry does not give them the same experience that I had with it in motherhood. So that comes first. It is what it is. I've had to say no to some opportunities recently because I have to be here. So I'm trying to do the best that I can, but it's hard. I'm
you're
struggling.
doing an amazing job.
I'm trying. But that's why a lot of stuff isn't coming out like the way I want it to, is because mommyhood is just wearing me out. Like having to not be able to travel because I got to find somebody to watch the baby. It's just been really hard to get back in the swing of things. So I'm doing it the best way I can. I'm trying. Pray for me.
And listen, that's all you can do.
I'm trying.
That's all you can do. Please, I need you to give yourself some grace.
Yeah.
Honey. Okay.
It's a daily reminder, like more grace.
All right, because this single we're going to talk about is fire. I know the visuals are going to be fire.
Listen, I'm on a liquid diet right now because the stuff that I'm doing and I'm pulling in this video, I am. Baby, the body has to be snatched. So I'm on a 10-day liquid only diet right now, trying to get myself in order. So it's gonna be very fun. I'm excited to release it to you guys.
Do you have a release date yet?
I would say y'all will have it in I would say we're filming some stuff actually next week.
Okay.
So this is only a Music Monday exclusive. So whoever ain't in here, because nobody else knows.
When you listen to Music Mondays with Terri Cann, you get the exclusive.
Yes, we're filming some stuff. We're filming a lot of the stuff next week.
Okay.
So it depends on, the editor. So I would say end of the month, early April. But you're not only getting a visual, you're getting live content too. This is exclusive.
Now, are you one of my favorite artists is Beyonce, and I have so much respect for her artistry because she's very involved. Like everything is her concept. Is that you? Are you like the brainchild behind your visuals?
I created my treatment. I pretty much style myself. I have people that help me on set to just put things together. But that could be a gift and a curse because sometimes I have too much in my head. But being on tour with Solange kind of helped me be comfortable with being the brains behind my craft and behind my artistry. So I'm the brain baby. Like she does everything. Our set design, our clothing, the stage stuff, the musical arrangements, the choreography. She has her hand in everything. So being able to work so up close and personal with her, it kind of allowed me to see what's doable, what not to do, when to pull back, what to be more aggressive on, how to speak to people. My work ethic it's 10 times better now, just being able to be around that type of genius. So everything that you see is me. Creatively, I do everything from my looks, from what I want stuff to look like. Now, when the budget gets increased, baby girl.
Oh, listen, it's coming though.
It's coming. I'm speaking it. But yeah, I'm definitely that person. Like,
I love it.
I'm on different conference calls. I've been on conference calls all day. Like, I created my treatment. Pretty much when we recorded the song, I already knew what I wanted to do. Dope. So, and people have been commenting and sending me DMs like, you should do a video like this. It's going to be like y'all think. How y'all picture it when you listen to the song. It's going to be really fun. I'm pulling some elements from some 80s stuff that I've some influences from there. So it's going to be really good. It's going to be good. Yeah. I'm not giving a release date. Like, I'm not doing any pre-promo. Maybe I'll do like maybe 24 hours before. But it's definitely going to be like out now. Go hit the link and go watch it. Run those views up. So, but you're going to get multiple things. You're not just getting the visual that day. Yes, multiple things are going to release the day the video comes out. So as a song that I released, it's going to be a live version of that we're going to release that day. So this is only exclusive to you. I'm not telling anybody else this. This is for you because I owe you this.
I'm so honored. Thank you. And everyone's excited. Mm-hmm. So Talk to Me, your latest single that, I just happened to see on your Instagram popped up. I was like, oh, available now. Okay, well, let's just go and click that on iTunes. What was the inspiration behind that song?
There's a producer / artist by the name of King Midas, and he's in Baltimore. He's somebody that I became a fan of a couple of years ago, and I've kind of been stalking his artistry. Yeah. So an opportunity came. I was fresh out of postpartum, and he was like, yo, I need you in Baltimore. Let's do it. So I flew out to Baltimore like in October. Still snow, it was cold, fresh baby. And he was like, you want to create something from scratch or what you feeling? And he played this. He was like, I've been sitting on this for you, and I want you to check it out. He played that hook, and I was hooked. I said, this is me. This is perfect for me. Thank you so much. God bless you. We had a host of writers come around, and we all just vibed together in the studio, and it came about. But my inspiration behind the record is definitely like I channel Vanity. I don't know if you're familiar with her from Purple Rain. And she was one of Prince's artists. She was in the group. It's a group, whatever. Prince is one of my biggest inspirations. And that whole pop, like funk and those different synths. I love the keytar. I love live guitar. I just love just that element. And I wanted to pull different sounds from that. And that's what we did. And it gives me Thriller vibes. It just gives me those 80s, just when music was fun, when you just wanted to cut a rug and dance and just be free in the moment. And I think that's where I'm at in my music right now, in my life. And I love the record.
What is it that genuinely
Go give me a charger.
What is it that generally inspires you, your artistry? People usually ask the who. I like to ask the what. What is it that inspires you? Everything you do.
It's been my kids lately.
Aww.
Yeah, it's been my babies because when you have something to live for and somebody that's watching everything you do, you kind of want to give them something to be proud of. And I think a lot of children, they put pressure on themselves that they have to please us. Yeah. But parents, I just want to make my boys proud. I just want them to be able to look at their mom and say, my mom did this. She didn't give up. And that's what inspires me. What else? I guess those around me, my grandmother. People keep calling me. Stop calling me.
That's okay.
I think continuing a legacy that was started way before I even existed. It's something that I take pride in, and being able to pass that along to my children and their children. You know how like families have heirlooms or things that they pass on, like a pearl necklace or a watch. I think music is ours. And it's been the heartbeat of my family. It keeps us together. And that's what inspires me for sure.
I just I just want to invite myself over for next Thanksgiving dinner.
Come. It's going to be a lot of singing, a lot of drinking, a lot of spades, smack, junk talking.
Look, nobody even has to talk to me. I just want to be in the room and just like be.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so awesome. I see we have one question.
Okay. Give me my purse.
Elise Victoria. How is it being a background vocalist while trying to create your own music?
Ooh, that's an amazing question.
It is.
I think for me, I learned servanthood very early. And for me, being it's just like when you're in church and you're in the praise team versus the praise and worship leader. You have to make sure what you're doing is complimenting that person. Like when I started to sing for Ty, I was signed already, but I didn't take that attitude to Ty. I'm here to learn because obviously I'm singing background for somebody that's been doing this longer than me. So what can I learn? I'm always a student, and you have to know which hats to put on. I'm in this room, and I'm supposed to be here to learn, to take notes. And I think for Solange, it was very easy because it's like you saw something in me and you gave me this opportunity. So I'm not going to mess it up with trying to force my artistry here. Like this is a moment for me to learn, for me to soak in all the knowledge and wisdom from you. And I think a lot of people, when you know when to be a student, I think that'll help. And know that your servanthood doesn't mean you lose who you are. It doesn't mean you lose value in what you give. It just means God is giving you an opportunity to perfect the leader inside of you. And I think before you master leadership, you have to be a servant. That's when you know you're ready to master leadership, when God puts you in an opportunity or life, whatever, whoever you believe, whatever. When an opportunity comes about for you to be a student and serve something greater than you at that time. And you never know what comes out of it. So when you go into something already arrogant, when you go into something already arrived, you miss the lesson there. And you can talk yourself out of rooms. I always tell people, you can talk yourself out of opportunities. But also know that you're in that room for a reason. But what? Are you in there to talk? Are you in there to listen? And I think some people go into rooms and go into opportunities prematurely, or they go into it with the wrong motive. Oh, I'm an artist, so I'm about to give my mixtape to Beyonce. No, you in that room to be relaxed. She see you. You never know. You may get a call that she needs you to come open up for her tour, but you done ran your mouth and it's been all over the place, and now you ain't gonna ever be welcome back to that room before. So yeah, it was an easy balance for me because I turned Shenice the artist off, and I turned To the servant on, and it's been such an amazing journey. Like.
That's good.
And now I got a job. So when artistry ain't bringing in the ducats, that's something that works. So, hey, a tour? Okay.
Well, we out.
Period. I know plenty of people that do it. Ajani sings for her. It's just plenty of Kenyon, Brandy, Justin Timberlake, and people still do it. And that can feed your artistry. If you play your cards right, that money, you could take that money you get in, that per diem you getting from tour, put that in a visual, put that back into your EP. Like, you got to know the game.
I absolutely love backgrounds. I love singing back. I feel backgrounds is the heart of the song. Give me a ooh and a ah any day.
You know, that's what I've been on. My mom knows how to master that whole background stuff. That's her judge, honey.
Man, that is, ooh, I love it. I love it. We're guys, I'll give you a chance for one more question if anybody has. We're coming to the end of the interview. I know you have to get back to the babies.
No, you good.
What is, oh wait, before that grand last question. It's Women's History Month, right? It's March 1st, the first day of Women's History Month. Who is a woman that has truly inspired you, and why?
So many. I would say Solange. My mom, of course. That's my grandma. But I would say Solange because she does it all. And a lot of people don't understand how vital and how time consuming and how taxing that is on your mental, on your body physically. So she's inspired me to do so much and to be very intentional with my art and tie it to a purpose. Her last album, she's very Black. Everything is Black. And I never knew there were so many Black creatives worldwide that do so many different things. I was naive to that until I started working with her. She had a 50-piece orchestra, all melanin skin. And to be intentional and not to be afraid in this climate, to be fearless in that inspired me and heightened my sensitivity to my art. Like, what is this tied to? What is this conversation piece? When people listen to this, are they just going to hear runs and melodies?
Yeah.
Is this going to be able to start a conversation that's going to be able to help people, you know? Yeah. So for me, that was a person that, it was a gift that I didn't even know I needed at the time. Like, it's the unspoken lessons that I learned from her. We've had plenty of conversations about my art, about things that I want to do. But to see her be able to hold her own, being related to such a big personality, that alone inspired me too. Me and her have so much in common on different levels, but we have a lot in common. So God being able to open that door for me has literally changed my life for sure. But she's probably one of my biggest inspirations right now.
I was going to say, like, what I love and respect about Solange. I said that girl owns who she is, and she is unapologetically her. Mm-hmm. You know, she doesn't even look like y'all may think I'm in competition with my sister, but I'm.
She be chilling, like and there's so much love and support from the both of them, and their mother, oh my God, Messina is like life, but she's just, it's like an unspoken confidence that she has, that you know she's taken time to really find herself and to love herself. And it's not to say that creatives don't deal with those moments of uncertainty or insecurity, but mastering who you are is the ticket there, because even when you have moments of being like, okay, wait, I don't know if I should do this, I don't know, you're going to always go back to who you are. And I love that about her. She's from the rooter to the tutor. You're going to get her real authentic, and it's so sweet. She's so, I love her. I can go on about her all day.
That's amazing. That's amazing. We have one more question that came in. For the God, what's your dream team of artists to tour with? Oh, that's good.
Okay. Okay. India Shawn.
Okay.
You know her. SZA. I would love to tour with Charlie Puth. He just seems like he's a really, really good time.
I gotta look him up.
Oh, he's so cold-blooded.
Yeah.
I should have been prepared for this question.
That's okay.
But yeah, India Shawn. I love Duran.
Okay.
You know him, I love him. He's the best. Alex Isley is a favorite of mine. I would love to, like, I just have this Lollapalooza, like mesh of like whole bunch of artists, different sounds, different textures, different everything, just getting on the stage and just celebrating each other. And everybody ends up like being headliner a different day. Like you flip-flop in every city. It's just different. I just have this melting pot of artists that I absolutely love, that I would love to share the stage with, that a lot of people don't know of. And all those people, you guys should look them up. They're absolutely amazing, and they have amazing music. But those are my faves. I would love to go on tour with them for sure. And Solange, I would love to open up for her.
Oh my God. Someone said Alex Isley is so underrated. Her vibe is freaking amazing.
Yes, she's Ron Isley's niece. I think his brother is her father. You have to look her up. I'm seeing you some of her music. When I tell you, her voice, heaven, literally. She's so cool.
I mean, it's the Isley for me. Once you say Isley, I'm just like, if she carries that any kind of tone.
Oh, you already know. She's cold. Anything she puts out is literally anymore. Like it's real R&B. It's amazing. Her music is so dope. I've been on her for some time, since 2010. I've been listening to her. Mm-hmm.
Corona, I need you to go away so we can see this tour coming to fruition.
We probably can try to figure out how to do it virtually. I don't know. Maybe we quarantine for 5 days and we all meet up at a venue and just tape it and then just do it. I don't know. But
no, you do know. You just said it. So let's make this happen. I'm getting excited. Let's make this happen. Everybody quarantine. Go take a COVID test.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We all meet up at a location.
Come on.
I think that'll be amazing.
Oh. I know creators, we are just missing each other in that collaborative.
Yeah. Well, if you asked me about my my nonprofit, it's not necessarily a nonprofit, but I want you guys to if you go on my is it Reels? No, it's the other one.
IG stories? IGTV.
IGTV. I started something called Therapy Live. Therapy Live is basically a group of support system for creatives. And Corona kind of put a wedge into my my plans, but it was going to be like Essence Fest meets Coachella for mental health, like a whole all day music, meditation, how to use your art for meditation. I'm still going to do it. But Therapy Live is definitely my platform for creatives. It's art. It promotes art that heals. So in the next coming months, I'm going to do Therapy Thursdays. And it's not just to talk about mental health. It's to talk about a wide range of things. Yeah. So you guys will see me have different guests. But I have the first interview that I did to promote Therapy Live. The expo version, I did it with Greg Cox. Okay. And we couldn't do the actual event, so I went ahead and still released the interview that I did with him. Okay. And that's on my IGTV. You guys can check that out. But speaking to what you were saying, I started Therapy Live, and it's really fun. It's going to be I have some amazing ideas. So,
are you familiar with Maya Bass? Maya Bass, also Latisse Crawford.
Oh, I love Latisse. We were signed at the same time. To RCA. We're label mates for a quick second.
Awesome. So they're both artists that are very big mental health advocates, and Latisse actually just started Whole Life LC. So I would love for you guys to have
we should link up.
I'm not giving you artists to talk to. Sorry.
Yeah. That would be so much fun. I had so much fun.
That's what I do, but it would be great. I guess you kind of answered my last question to you is, what is the bigger picture of Shenice to Johnson? What's the bigger picture?
Definitely album. Definitely being able to consistently put out my music. But I'm tapping into entrepreneurship and being able to I want to be a therapist, so I'm going to end up going back to school for that. That's like the end goal for me, is to have a home for creatives that deal with and struggle with mental illness or whatever. That's like my end goal and something that I'm working towards now. So like in the next 5 to 6 years, you can come to the therapy house or whatever. And if you need money, if you need studio time, if you need somebody to talk to, it's a resource center. It's there to cultivate and nurture you, and also give artists development as well. So that's something that I'm intentionally working on, that I'm super excited about, and something that I'm more passionate about that than my music. Wow.
And there's gonna be one in LA, one in New York, one in Chicago, one in Nashville.
You already know.
I know.
The vision is massive.
That's exciting. And will there be another book?
Yeah. But it won't be like a self-help tell-all type of situation.
Okay.
It'll probably be something about creatives or something like that. I have a few ideas written down. I wrote maybe like 5 chapters while I was on tour of an idea. Okay. I also I want to get into playwriting. I'm a thespian. I went to, I was a theater geek, and I love acting. I love Broadway. So, I want to tap back into that. But I have a playwright to my book that could be like a short film. It could be a film. So that's something I'm going to probably explore soon too. So we'll see.
You got a lot to do, sis. There's so much in you. That's amazing.
I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Excited for you. That's amazing. So we are looking forward to the visuals for Talk to Me coming soon.
Y'all pray I don't pass out with this liquid diet.
You're not gonna pass. Sis,
the things I do for y'all.
The big woman and this quarantine did not.
Imagine having a baby and then just going right back to just eating. It's been tough because I was a pescatarian beforehand, and then my son did not like seafood when I was pregnant. And so I went back to meat, and it was just a struggle. So having to unlearn that and prepare my body for healthy stuff again was a struggle. But we're gonna get to it. Visual, multiple content. I'm launching some merch. I'm launching a lot of stuff in the next couple of weeks. So this is just for you. So oh my God. Don't nobody else ask me no more exclusive. I'm not giving nothing else. That's it. I owe this for you for having to postpone, but I think this is divine timing. Thank you.
I saw that. I was like, well, let's talk about her new single. This is amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. And someone is asking if you can sing a snippet of the new single. And I was going to ask if you can end with, giving us a little 1624.
My mom is holding this baby. She ready for
Oh, she's coming, Mom. She's coming. She's coming.
Oh, God.
No, if you have to go, I understand.
Of the new single or just anything?
Anything that's speaking to you right now.
Mm-hmm. She really want me to get this baby.
Okay, all right. You know what?
I'll come back and sing another day.
Hey, tweet. Listen, I appreciate you coming and spending this time with us so much. You are so amazing to talk to.
Maybe I'll have her give them to me and I'll sing it. Hold on. Okay. Come on, buddy. Come on. Say hello.
Look at these cheeks.
Say hi, Dallas.
Hi, Dallas.
Say I've been keeping up all the noise for my mommy.
Hi. So gorgeous. You make my ovaries jump. Okay.
Oh, he's cute. So I'll sing, tell me the truth. Do you know what you're doing? I ain't got no time to waste. Really needed it yesterday. Will it be you? I am searching. Need a healing. Need a mending. Need somebody to come immediately. I need a healer. Would you come and save me? Are you willing to do dirty work? Whatever it takes, will you be my healer? Healer, healer, healer. That's the song that Brittany Jackson wrote that just speaks to me every time I need some.
Wow.
But yeah, thank you.
Your voice. Oh.
Thank you. Hey, thank you.
Hi, Dallas.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, you like hearing mommy sing? Yes. You're like.
So this how y'all know it's real. It's real. Motherhood is real around here.
I literally hear one of mine screaming in the bedroom right now.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Literally, I get it.
Well, thank you for this. I really appreciate it. This was beautiful. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to
so much. You've been so amazing to talk to. Stay beautiful.
Say bye.
Stay beautiful. Bye. Bye, Dallas. Bye, Aiden.
Bye.
All right, Shenice. God bless.
Bye-bye, y'all.
Bye-bye. Hey, guys. Thank you for logging on to another episode of Music Mondays with Terri Cann. We just finished an amazing interview with Shenice Tou Johnson. Go ahead and support her. Go ahead and download her. Download, stream, purchase her latest single. Check out the visual that she had before for her last song. Good Love is fire. She's such an amazing artist. But I love you all. I do hear my child screaming in the bedroom, so I'm gonna go. Don't forget Wednesday, the Flow Room, 7 a.m. on Clubhouse for worship leaders. And like I mentioned before, we are coming up on our 1-year anniversary for Music Mondays with Terri Cann. I cannot believe this. So if you guys would love, I would love it if you guys would leave me a video testimonial of how you've been enjoying the show. We want to make a little commercial. So I appreciate you guys. All right. Love you all. Good night.